The second day after stealing the forbidden fruit with my childhood sweetheart Chen, he looked at me and grinned lazily. Joy, last night was purely an accident. You wouldn't take it seriously, would you? The joy that had just sprouted instantly froze into ice shards. 10 years of secret love, 1 night of entanglement. All turned into a huge joke. Seeing me freeze, he recklessly added, Rosa just agreed to be with me. Don't ruin things for me. Fine. As he wished, I didn't cry or make a scene. I quietly bought a plane ticket to go abroad. Chen's words were like a dull knife cutting flesh. He lay next to me, playing with my hair. What's wrong? Unhappy? He smiled teasingly. You sure seemed to enjoy it last night, didn't you? I suddenly snapped back to reality, enduring the aching pain all over my body as if I had been run over by a car, and frantically picked up the crumpled clothes on the floor to put them on. Unhappy? He propped his head up, as if looking at something strange. Joy. I treat you like a brother, and you actually wanted to sleep with me. I forced a smile. Weren't you the one who took the initiative last night? We're adults. The mood was right. We just had some fun. Did you actually take it to heart? He acted like he'd heard the funniest joke ever. Don't you know who I like? I bit my lip, holding back the tears. Everyone in the school knows that the school hunk Chen fell in love with campus belle Rosa at first sight. Rosa disliked his philandering, and only relented when she was about to graduate from university. You clearly said last night that you weren't going to pursue Rosa anymore. My voice trembled. He was even more speechless. I've been pursuing her for so long without success, and you believe me just because I complained. Joy, how old are you? Can't you tell a joke? So, it was just a joke. I forced myself to put on the last piece of clothing. I'm leaving. Want me to see you off? No need. I rushed out the door as if fleeing. Outside, the snow was falling heavily. The cold wind stung my face, but my tears were even hotter. Humiliation overwhelmed me. I never thought I would end up like this with Chen. Last night, he was heartbroken and drunk, and he called me to pick him up. When I got there, he was still chugging alcohol, and his friends couldn't stop him. I heard he was rejected by Rosa again. He pulled me to drink with him, saying, Joy, I don't want to like Rosa anymore. I won't chase after her again. I felt sad for him, but secretly happy. I've liked him for so many years. I thought that when he asked me to stay overnight, it meant he had given up and wanted to be with me. Otherwise, why would he have been so gentle and so insatiable last night? By the time I was done, it was dawn, and I was so tired I couldn't even lift my fingers. He held me tight, his voice hoarse and seductive. Joy, it's just you and me from now on. No one else. Do bedside promises not even last overnight. I wiped away my tears haphazardly and answered the phone. Mom, why is your voice hoarse? It's cold. I caught a cold. I prevaricated. Are you coming abroad after graduation? She asked. I looked at the swirling snow. My parents divorced when I was 10, and I stayed with my mom. Before long, she was transferred abroad, leaving me with my grandmother. My memory of her is vague. In my memory, there was only my grandmother, and Chen next door, when everyone laughed at me as a wild child. It was Chen who took my hand and said, Don't listen to them, you have me. So when Mom gained a foothold abroad and asked if I wanted to go, I hesitated. First, I couldn't bear to leave Grandma. After Grandma passed away, I couldn't bear to leave Chen either. Okay, I'll go over after graduation, I said. Really? Mom was pleasantly surprised. Can you let go of Chen? Or is he with you? Mom, I don't want him anymore, I interrupted her, my voice resolute. I won't wait any longer. In high school, rumors spread about Chen and me. His parents were called in, and he had to make a public apology to the whole class, but that self-criticism was all about shirking responsibility. I only remember the last sentence, if I'm not married by 30, and she's not married, I'm willing to spend the rest of my life with her. The whole school knew about our 30-year pact. Back to the cold home. Chen doesn't live next door anymore. His family moved away when he was in high school. But to pick me up for school, he would get up half an hour early every day and ride his bicycle, rain or shine. I once firmly believed that, in this world, besides Grandma, only Chen was the kindest to me. Bury myself in the quilt. The dull pain in my chest is almost suffocating. I grit my teeth. Time heals all wounds. It must. The phone woke me. My head still heavy. Juan, where are you? My best friend Jen asked. Don't forget the class reunion. Chen, you said you were bringing your girlfriend. Are you two really together? What? I was dumbfounded. Check the group. Hurry up and get here. She hung up with a snap. I opened the class group chat, and it was blowing up. Has a girlfriend. I'll be a dog if you're lying. Chen reply. Really? Who is it? Joy. You two have been close since childhood. Chen no reply. The group chat became more lively. Assuming it was me, just as I was about to type, his message popped up again. Dream on. Joy, that's my brother. Would I be perverted enough to sleep with my brother? Don't spout nonsense. My girlfriend will be unhappy if she hears that. I've been chasing her for a long time. After a few seconds of silence, someone asked, then Joy prettier? Chen, not in the same league. You'll know when you see her. A bunch of people simping. Better than Joy, an angel. It still has to be brother Chen. Turn off the phone, get up and change clothes. Not going. It's only once a year, if you let it go. You have to be open and honest. Pushing open the door of the private room, Chen embracing Rosa surrounded in the middle, he protectively pulled the person into his arms, saying, your sister-in-law is shy, don't scare her. In 3 years of high school, I've never seen Chen Ji protect anyone like this, except. The male classmate's words got stuck, the atmosphere became awkward, Chen face cold, Rosa quite generous. Besides Joy right, I knew it. The male student panicked, glancing Chen, Rosa smiled. In college, Chen was always with Joy together. My friends all say, Chen has got a long tail now, following her everywhere. People who don't know them might think they're a couple. Bullshit, Chen scoffed. I'm not blind. Why would I fancy Joy? What a tomboy. My sexual orientation is perfectly normal, Rosa nodded. That's true, then pretended to misspeak. Oops, I didn't mean. Joy flat-chested, meaning if you two were going to happen, it would have already happened, it wouldn't be my turn. She suddenly called me out, feigning sincerity. Joy, you're not angry, right? I didn't mean any harm. Malice, even a deaf person could hear it. Too bad, Shen is the ace of deaf people. He squeezed Rosa's hand. Why bother with her? She's been daft since she was a kid. What does she know about being angry? I nodded. Right, what's there to be angry about? It's not like I like Chen. He can say whatever he wants. It's you, I said, Rosa with a smile. Thanks for collecting the trash. Chen face darkened. Rosa froze. The class monitor quickly smoothed things over and called everyone to eat. Me and Jenny sat together. She whispered in my ear. See that? Top-tier green tea. She's after you. Be careful. Whatever. Anyway, I'm flying abroad in 6 months. After a few drinks, I went to the restroom, washing my hands. Rosa came in. She stood next to me, touching up her lipstick. She's an art student, knows how to dress. Campus belle, the title is not false, but without makeup. I saw her once. Almost didn't recognize her. Not curious. She sneered. I just rejected him. Why did I agree again? Not interested. I wiped my hands with a tissue. Did you two sleep together last night? She asked directly. I paused for a moment. Ask Chen. She scoffed. Joy, who doesn't know you like him? Do you think Chen doesn't know? So, I raised an eyebrow, just a friendly reminder. She leaned in, lowering her voice. Men don't cherish things that come too easy. I like him too. But I made him chase me for over 3 years before I gave in. Get it? The harder to get, the more valuable. She looked down at me with a victor's air. Unlike you, giving it away for free. They'll just sleep with you and toss you aside. I quietly watched her performance, that smug look on her face. I laughed. A rotten cucumber. Anyone who wants it can have it. You treasure it so much. You better hold on tight. You, too lazy to waste words. I pushed her aside and left, just sat back in my seat. Jenny leans over. Took you so long to go to the restroom. Rosa also went in. Didn't make trouble for you. Before the words finished, Chen rushed in front of me with a fierce look and kicked my chair hard. Joy, you freaking are you not disgusted? The entire private room was silent. Everyone was dumbfounded, staring at the crazed Chen. I was even more dumbfounded. The reason I was nice to you before was because I pitied you since your parents didn't want you. Did you really think I cared about you? His eyes were bloodshot, and the veins on his neck were bulging, as if he wanted to devour someone. I almost thought I had violated some heavenly law. Chen, it's the new year, calm down, someone advised. Jenny exploded directly. Chen, what the hell is wrong with you? Why are you yelling at Juan? Mind your own business, get lost. Chen, Jenny cursed together. I've never seen him like this. He knows perfectly well that my most painful scar is being unwanted. Did I provoke you? My voice was as cold as ice, but my heart felt like it had been pierced through. How did you promise me this morning? He roared. And then you immediately tell Rosa, did I sleep with you? Joy, are you really this cheap, using such dirty tricks to break us up? So, he thought she was the one who snitched. I looked behind him at Rosa. The smugness in her eyes was impossible to hide. Chen, you enjoy before things are cleared up, don't come to me. Rosa, he made as if to leave. Chen, he grabbed her. What could I possibly have with her? Yes, I slept with her last night, but she seduced me. I was drunk. My brothers can vouch for me. He frantically pulled out his phone. No need to call. I interrupted him, my voice clear. I was the one who initiated it last night. Chenwell, at most it counts as, can't control his urges. Joy, his eyes were about to pop out. Don't worry, after sleeping with you once. I've seen you clearly, we're done here. I looked at Chen, he looked wary. After all, the experiencers just SOSO. Chen, her face flushed crimson instantly. The private room was deathly silent. Everyone was an adult, who wouldn't understand. Fut, Jenny burst out laughing. Oh tilde, so the great school hunk Chen is. All bark and no bite. Shut up. Chen completely lost it, blurting out, Joy, sleeping with you last night was no different than sleeping with a chicken. My heart felt like it had been shattered by a heavy hammer. I stared at him, unable to utter a single word. Chen, you're worse than a dog, Jenny cried. Juan was blind to ever like you. Can't blame Ken for speaking harshly. Rosa, so fake, like a green tea bitch. Is Joy first scheming against him, then spreading rumors that he's no good, who wouldn't be angry? Bitch. Jenny rushed up to slap her. Chen suddenly grabbed Jenny's wrist. Dare you touch her? Let her go. My voice was laced with ice. Chen, his pupils contracted, and he shook her off. Jenny, Joy, don't blame me for being ruthless. You're the one who destroyed our relationship. He gritted out. Okay, I nodded, digging my nails into my palm, forcing the tears back. Then let's make a clean break. You just said, sleeping with me is no different than sleeping with a chicken. Every word dripped with blood. Fine, then let's settle the bill, pay up the prostitution fee, and we'll be even, never to see each other again. Chen, face as black as the bottom of a pot. Clearly, he didn't expect me to be so resolute. A stalemate for a few seconds. He gritted his teeth. Are you sure? Sure. He took out his phone and quickly transferred the money. 1,000. Is that enough? His tone was as contemptuous as if he were dismissing a beggar. With that, he wrapped his arm around Rosa. Let's go. As soon as he left, Jenny held me and cried, Juan, he's not worth it. Yeah, not a match. Forget about him. Okay, that night at the party, I also left early. Boring. As for that 1,000 yuan prostitution fee, I donated it to charity on the spot. I only find his dirty money disgusting, but I hope this money can help those in need. The next day, I checked Moments. Rosakan announced it simultaneously. From now on, my hands will never be empty again. Someone to hold them through spring, summer, autumn, and winter. The accompanying picture shows hands tightly intertwined, with the unmistakable background of Chen's bedroom and that big bed. It would be a lie to say I felt nothing, but mostly, I felt disgusted and nauseous. Exiting Moments, Chen-chat arrived, me and Rosa together now. I didn't reply. He bombarded me again. Return the money. Messages came one after another, really treating it like prostitution money. I spoke too harshly last night. Rosa bawling my eyes out. I have to coax her, just going through the motions. If worst comes to worst, use me as a stepping stone when you find your next boyfriend. I'll absolutely cooperate. I looked at the screen. I recognized each word, but together they read like an alien language. You there, he urged. My mom wants you to keep watch tomorrow night. The red envelope is ready. I sneered, fingers flying, and blacklisted all his contact information with one click. Do you really think I'm still that kid who forgets the pain with a piece of candy? I've grown up, spent half a day sorting out my mood and packing my luggage. My mom is abroad, my dad has a new family, And since my grandma passed away, I've been every year, Chen spending the new year at home. This year, with a tap of my finger, I booked a bullet train ticket directly to Lhasa. I'll be spending New Year's Eve on the road. The next morning, as soon as the bullet train started, Chen his mom called. I took a breath. Auntie, it's me. Chen's voice. I was silent, still angry. He asked, get to the point, blocked me on phone and WeChat. Joy, you're really something, he said, his tone helpless, still disappearing on me like when we were kids. I returned to, why keep someone who has nothing to do with us? Taking up memory, what about it? He said as if hearing a joke, didn't you also spread rumors that I'm not good enough? What did I say? WeChat already gave you an out, didn't it? Fine, I was wrong, an apology, okay. He was clearly impatient. My mom insisted I pick you up to celebrate the New Year's Eve. At 5 in the afternoon, I'll first go to Rosa meet the parents, and then pick you up, warning you, don't you dare Rosadonti talk nonsense in front of me. I clutched my phone, feeling a wave of suffocation. After making such a scene, he can still nonchalantly ask me to celebrate the new year. What's even more unbelievable is that he wants to bring Risotto meet his parents. Isn't he afraid I'll be disgusted? Isn't he afraid? Rosa flipped the table. If his mom speaks up, can't he just find an excuse to decline? Does he have to drag me in as a backdrop, making everyone uncomfortable? Joy, what? Ket got your tongue? He roared. My voice was calm. I'm not going. Then where are you going? That's none of your business. No way. Just because Rosa coming over. He said as if he'd heard the joke of the century. Joy, I really don't have feelings for you. Can't we just be bros? I swear, even if there's a Rosa, I'm the same to you as before. It has nothing to do with her, and even less to do with you. Joy, what the hell are you trying to do? I've already lowered my head. What else do you want? Do you want me to kneel down and beg you? Stop being so childish. Okay, yes, I am childish. When I say I'll never see you again, I mean it. Heh, Joy. The way you're obsessing over this is really sickening. Same to you. I hung up the phone. He really didn't call again. Nan City to Lhasa, 40 hours, this New Year's Eve. I spent it on the train tracks. I used to be so afraid of being alone, afraid of being left behind. I didn't even dare to think, what would happen without Chen? Now I realize, that's all there is to it. People always grow up, slowly maturing. When I was a kid, I was afraid of my parents getting divorced. Afraid my mom wouldn't want me. Afraid my grandma would die. Afraid Chen would leave. Looking back, those hurdles that once seemed insurmountable are long behind us. The New Year's bell tolls. Jenny WeChat, babe, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. She suddenly asked, did you see Chen's WeChat moments? I blocked him. Good job. She liked my response and sent a screenshot. Chen's WeChat moments. All my thoughts and wishes are you. I'm so lucky to have met you. The picture was a kissing photo with Rosa. Not to disgust you, just afraid you might still have feelings. I laughed. Rest assured, I signed up for a small tour group in Lhasa. Every day I hiked and saw the sights. So tired I fell asleep as soon as my head hit the pillow. It wasn't until half a month later that I boarded the bullet train back to Nanchang. During this time, only Jenny kept in touch with me. I left in such a hurry that I didn't tell her. When she found out I was wandering in Lhasa over the new year, she cursed Chen's ancestors for 18 generations. She also kept sending me screenshots of Chen's WeChat moments, showing affection every day. At first, likes and comments flooded the screen. But later, not even enough likes to fill a 9-square grid. Jenny wicked tongue. Public displays of affection die quickly. On my last day leaving Lhasa, I still posted a commemorative moment on WeChat, a long text recording the itinerary and travel tips. Finally, attached a 9-grid photo. 8 stunning landscapes, with me right in the center, taken by the tour guide, unrealistically beautiful. I didn't pay attention after sending it, and dozed off on the bullet train. When I opened my eyes again, my WeChat moments had exploded, 99 plus. It was all the same. Holy crap, an angel has descended, beautiful scenery and even more beautiful person. Envy, about to reply with a uniform thanks. Rosa's comment popped up. Joy, knowing that Chen and I are together. You still post these slutty photos to seduce him. Have you no shame? I laughed out of anger. Uniform reply, sorry to disappoint you, I blocked him long ago, he can't see them. After replying, I also added Rosa to the blacklist. Almost missed this sauerkraut fish. Returned to Nancheng at 11 p.m., dragging my tired body out of the elevator. I saw Chen standing at my door. They moved away long ago, so why come to me in the middle of the night? You're willing to come back, he smirked, a smile that didn't reach his eyes. Too lazy to bother with him. I took out my key to open the door, didn't realize it before. You've got quite the temper. He followed me casually, running off to Lhasa alone. Aren't you afraid of being kidnapped by human traffickers? He stopped the door with his hand as soon as it cracked open. My eyes were as cold as ice. I've called the police. Joy, you heartless thing. He suddenly raised his voice. You just left without a word and ran so far away. Did you ever think about who might be worried? I knew you were coming back tonight, but I didn't know when, so I've been standing at your door for 6 hours. I haven't even had a sip of water, and my legs are numb. And after all that, you're still trying to kick me out. Chen, I thought I made myself clear. I couldn't be bothered to argue with him. Stop it. He grabbed my wrist, and I couldn't shake him off. Haven't eaten yet. Have you? I'll make you some noodles. You used to love my spicy. I don't like it, I interrupted him, enunciating each word. I never eat spicy food. Before, to avoid spoiling his mood, I would endure the stomach pain every time he cooked spicy noodles, finishing them all. And then suffer from exhaustion the next day. Then I'll make a clear broth. He acted as if he hadn't heard my refusal, pushing me through the door on his own accord. You go pack your luggage, I'll call you when the noodles are ready. Watching him enter the kitchen as if he were familiar with the place. What once felt like a warm scene now only feels ironic. Not wanting to get entangled, I went back to the room to pack. After coming out of the shower, 2 bowls of red oil spicy noodles were on the table. Eat quickly, it won't be good if it gets soggy, he said, beckoning. I walked straight to the door, opened it, and picked up the takeout from the floor. You ordered takeout? He looked shocked. Ignoring him, I sat back at the table and slowly opened my porridge. Chen stared at me for a long time, finally sputtering out, Joy, when are you going to stop this? You think I'm making a scene? His face darkened, and his molars ground together audibly. I thought he was going to slam the door and leave. He's always had a bad temper, and I used to be the only one who put up with it. Delete your moments. He took a deep breath and finally revealed his purpose. Fortunately, I had no expectations of him long ago. Why should I? I stirred the porridge, just because of this bowl of noodles that I won't even eat. Do you know that single photo of you has been posted on the school's confession wall? The whole school is voting for the new campus bell now. So, your votes have surpassed Rosa's. So what? It's just a student vote. What's it got to do with me? Does anyone not know what you look like? You rose to the top with a heavily edited photo. It's an unfair victory. Think it's unfair? Go post your grievances on the wall. Joy, don't push things too far. We've known each other since we were kids. Chen, I interrupted sharply, don't want to push things too far. You shouldn't have let me stay over that night, and you definitely shouldn't have publicly called me a whore the next day. How long has it been? Are you still harping on about it? He said as if hearing a fantasy. Consenting adults, are you expecting me to take responsibility? I was silent. He thought he had me cornered. Do you have to push me like this? For you, that night is over. For me, we are over for life. I'm not forcing you to take responsibility. I only ask that we part ways and drift apart. He froze for a long time, then suddenly forced a cold laugh, stood up and said, Fine. I hope you don't regret it. Regret? I only regret being blind and wasting my youth on a dog. The next morning, my college roommate bombarded me with WeChat messages. Juan. Someone on the confession wall is calling you ugly. They've posted a lot of unflattering photos of you. I clicked to take a look. It was Chen's old dark history photos of me, all taken from terrible angles. He was smug after taking the photos, saying, If you ever betray me, I'll release these. I thought he was joking then. You can't test people's hearts. Fortunately, my heart is hardened now. Campus bell. Whoever wants to be it can be it. But I didn't expect someone to stand up for me. On the confession wall, people successively posted Rosa's bare face photos. Caption, Rosa's real appearance. For reference, as soon as the photo came out, Rosa's goddess persona instantly collapsed. The comment section exploded. Chen, would you still recognize Rosa without makeup? Holy crap. Is Rosa so ordinary without makeup? The filter is shattered. Rosa quickly fought back, saying someone maliciously photoshopped the pictures to smear her, and specifically implied it was me. Still arguing. There's no difference between my bare face and when I wear makeup. I usually wear light makeup anyway. Someone stoked the fire. It's easy to prove, just remove your makeup in public. Rosa immediately replied, okay, I'll do it when school starts. She was decisive. And public opinion instantly turned in her favor. Her campus belle votes soared. I took it as a joke. Anyway, I'm graduating soon. Anyway, I'm leaving, registering for the start of the semester. Being pointed at and talked about the whole way. A junior from the journalism club blocked me with a live streaming phone. Senior Chi, you're bad-mouthing Senior Shin on the confession wall. Are you jealous that she's with Senior Chen? Before I could speak, she added, Senior, this is a school-wide live stream. I looked at the camera and twitched the corner of my mouth. First, I didn't do it. Second, no jealousy. Third, I and Chen, we're over long ago. Who he loves in the future is none of my business. After saying that, she turned and left. This live broadcast unexpectedly went viral on campus. Barrage is blowing up the screen. Senior Chi is so cool. I feel like she's not lying. Her eyes are too honest. To be honest, Joy looks amazing on camera. Waiting for Rosa to take off her makeup. I won't believe Joy until she does. The result, Rosa's public makeup removal has been delayed again and again. The confession wall is sparking with impatience, but she's playing dead. Seeing things about to fall apart, she finally lamented on social media, terrible cold, my face is swollen like a pig's head. Once I recover, I'm uninstalling this app as soon as I get back to school. Senior year, second semester. Doesn't require constant presence at school. I'm back for the postgraduate recommendation quota. Chen and I both got into the postgraduate program at our university, but now that I'm giving it up, I need to free up the spot, and to prepare for my defense, Chen is back too. I ran into him in the cafeteria. We acted like the other didn't exist, until the day of the interview. I went to the office. Chen was chatting with a classmate. Rosa isn't back yet, a classmate gossiped. Is she that sick? I'm not sure. Aren't you her boyfriend? Just started, not that close. Chen's tone was perfunctory. It's weird. I used to think I couldn't live without her. But now that we're actually together, after not seeing each other for a month or two, it's like I don't really miss her that much. You're the classmate jokingly scolded. Chen suddenly saw me and immediately came over. Joy, how's the preparation going? He feigned concern. The interviewers are very strict this time. Don't be nervous. No need. I walked straight past him. I vaguely heard his classmate mutter, Chen, don't you know, Joy gave up her spot a long time ago. In the afternoon, on my way to the cafeteria, Chen stopped me downstairs at the dorm. Why aren't you going to grad school? He grabbed me, his tone agitated. What's it to you? Just for me and Rosa being together, you don't even want your future. Joy, you're so naive. Stop trying to flatter yourself. It's my own decision. Who are you trying to fool? Do you think I don't know what you're thinking? So what if it is? I sneered. In the end, giving up postgraduate studies was indeed related to completely severing ties with his past. Do you know how many people are fighting tooth and nail for it? What good jobs can undergraduates find? How cruel is society? Chen, I interrupted sharply, mind your own business. It's not your place to tell me what to do. I'm doing this for your own good. I stared at him, enunciating each word. If you come any closer, you're just asking for it. He was like a puppet with its strings cut. Frozen in place, I shook him off and left without looking back. On the eve of the graduation defense, Rosa finally recovered and returned to school. She was immediately surrounded by the news agency's live broadcast cameras as soon as she entered the school gate, her popularity soaring. Senior span ID equals 0 Shin span. It's time to fulfill your promise and remove your makeup in public, right? Don't worry, straight from the original camera, same equipment as the interview with Senior Chi, absolutely fair. Rosa's eyes darted around, and she stammered, oh, I came in a hurry. maybe tomorrow. I didn't bring any makeup remover today. We have some. The younger students immediately stuffed makeup remover wipes into her hands. Ready-made. I suddenly have a stomach ache. I need to go to the restroom. She clutched her stomach and tried to slip away. The junior quickly pointed the way. There's one right next door. We'll watch your luggage. It'll only take 2 minutes. Rosa's face paled, and she braced herself as she went into the restroom. The restroom door opened. Rosa was escorted out by 2 news agency classmates. Her face tense. Senior, shouldn't you take it off? The junior stuffed a wet wipe into her hand. Rosa dabbed at her face weakly, the wet wipe as clean as if it were brand new. See, I told you I wasn't wearing makeup. She forced a smile. Senior, let me help you. The junior couldn't stand it anymore. Senior, let me help you. She snatched the wet wipe and scrubbed her face hard. A blinding pink mark was instantly revealed. The wet wipe was covered in foundation. Rosa screamed. I'll do it myself. Don't touch me. Her goddess persona shattered into pieces. The girls from the press club swarmed forward. The wet wipe was like applying putty, scraping off the thick wall on her face in a few swipes. A sallow, plain face, starkly exposed in front of the camera. The comments section went wild. Holy crap, it's exactly like the leaked photos. More than one thing. The live version is even more of a disaster. Where does she get the nerve to diss Joy? Is Chen regretting it to the core? Whether Chen regrets it or not is unknown. I just want to finish my defense and get out of here as soon as possible. On the day of the defense, I ran into Chen gossiping with someone in the corner again. Haven't you seen Rosa without makeup? A classmate gossiped. Seen my ass. She even wears makeup to sleep. Chen looked like he'd swallowed a fly. So now, we broke up long ago. Keep her around to be a laughingstock. This is a stain on my life. Hey, you didn't lose out. You got to sleep with a girl for free. Someone chimed in. That's not the way to look at it. Another interjected. Breaking up with Joy over this is a huge loss. Joy is so hot. What's the panic? Chen scoffed, with a confident look. Back when I was chasing Rosa, I was sure Joy wouldn't get away. But she's not going to graduate school. That just shows how much she likes me, he said triumphantly. She doesn't even want her future for me, if I just beckon. How could she not come back? Awesome. Brother Chen. I turned and walked into the defense room expressionlessly. The defense went smoothly. I went home to pack my luggage and put the house up for sale with an agency. 3 days later, I flew abroad, telling only Jenny. That night, Jenny WeChat. Babe, I really didn't mean to, just finished reading. A knock on the door slammed. Joy, open the door. I know you're in there. Chen yelled outside, annoying. Opened the door. What, you're going abroad? His eyes were bloodshot, like a cat whose tail had been stepped on. Understood. Jenny let it slip. Yeah, too lazy to explain. How can you leave? How can you abandon me? He was furious, as if betrayed by the whole world. Why didn't you tell me? I sneered. Who are you? Aren't we friends? Not anymore. Are you mad that I wasn't responsible? I'll be responsible. Let's be together, he said urgently. Chen, in your eyes, am I this cheap? It's not. I closed the door. Don't come anymore. Are you angry about the ugly photos I sent you? He held the door. Rosa stole my phone and sent them. I scolded her. No. Was it the class reunion that embarrassed you? I'll apologize. I'll make a public apology in the group. Okay, it's neither. I interrupted him, each word clear. It's simply that I don't love you anymore. Not even a little bit. You're lying. He shook his head violently, as if hearing gibberish. I don't believe it, so that's why you're so brazen. He choked, stammering. I was wrong. I was out of my mind. I've always loved you. I just couldn't stand being tied to you forever. Feelings can't withstand being worn down. My voice was icy. Once you miss it, it's gone. It can't be gone. Tears streamed down his face, without any regard for his image. Just one chance. Please, I swear, I'll only love you from now on. I looked at his collapsing face, my heart as still as dead water. But my love burned out. Bang, the door closed, completely isolating us. 3 days later, at the airport, before going through security, a strange text message popped up. Joy. I'm at the airport. Look back. Don't go. Deleted. Airplane mode on. Stride forward. For the rest of my life. Goodbye. I thought we had said our final goodbyes, but this Chinese New Year, my mom had to return to China for some business, and since the house sale paperwork, the property certificate is under my name, required my presence, I had to go back too. Jenny insisted on dragging me to our class reunion. On the way, she didn't stop talking. I heard Chen has been like a stray dog for the past 6 months. He's been getting scolded by his supervisor like a pig for his postgraduate studies. If he keeps messing around like this, he's definitely not graduating. By the way, last time I let slip about you going abroad. I really didn't mean to set you up. It was at last year's class reunion, when you and Rosa had a catfight in the bathroom, and some wimp in our class recorded it. At the time, seeing Chen acting like a mad dog. He didn't dare to release it, but later his conscience got the better of him and he sent it to me. I immediately forwarded it to Chen. Serves him right. Didn't he come crawling to you, begging for forgiveness? I smiled and shook my head. Does it matter? That's right. Jenny glanced at me, grinning mischievously. Your current boyfriend is a blonde, blue-eyed hottie, leaving Chen in the dust, 10,000 times more reliable. I blushed. I made a new boyfriend after going abroad. This time back to China was also partly because, although his career is abroad, his parents are in China, so he took the opportunity to meet them. Walking into the private room for the class reunion, everyone was very enthusiastic when they saw me. Joy is here. We thought you wouldn't come back after going abroad, but you're back in half a year. Is there someone you can't let go of? I naturally saw Chen. I hadn't seen him in half a year, and he looked like he had lost a lot of weight. Classmates cheered and made me sit next to Chen. I didn't refuse either. To me, Chen was just a classmate. At the dinner table, I kept interacting with other classmates, drinking and chatting. Chen tried to talk to me several times, but I ignored him. After a few rounds of drinks, the class monitor spoke. Didn't we have some unpleasantness on this day last year? Now our protagonist is here to apologize to everyone. Everyone looked at Chen and me. Chen stood up. He picked up the glass of baijiu. It was my fault last year. I misunderstood Joy and said some harsh things. I'll punish myself with this drink here, hoping Joy can forgive me. He drained it in one gulp. I actually know that Chen doesn't have a very high alcohol tolerance. He poured himself another glass. I've been reflecting on myself for the past 6 months, and I know I was terribly wrong. I hope Joy can give me a chance to turn over a new leaf. I swear in front of all my classmates, if I ever do anything to let Joy down again, I'll be hit by a car and die. He drained it again. Chen filled the third glass. This time, he looked at me, his affectionate eyes glistening with tears. I really thought you wouldn't come back. I really thought you didn't want me anymore. Do you know how happy I was when I heard you were coming back to China? Give me a chance. Will you be my girlfriend? From now on, you are my whole world. After finishing the third glass of wine, Chen knelt down on one knee in front of me, looking at me with deep affection. The surrounding classmates were clapping and cheering. Joy, say yes to him. Say yes to him. I couldn't help but smile. So this was premeditated, Jenny quickly said in my ear. It has nothing to do with me. I really didn't know. If I had known, I definitely wouldn't have let you come to the reunion. Of course I believe Jenny. Chen, I told you, we're over. I refused in public. Don't do these useless things anymore. It will only make you more embarrassed. Leaving those words behind, I got up and left. Joy, Chen chased after him. Outside the restaurant, Chen called after me, cautiously asking, Joy, you came back, not because you've forgiven me, right? There's no forgiving or not forgiving between us, I said with a smile. Between us, there's only the past, no future. But Chen wanted to say something more. A Panamera pulled up in front of us. Juan, is the class reunion over? A man in a suit got out of the car, walked up to me with a face full of doting. It's so cold outside. Why didn't you wait for me to arrive before coming out? He turned over and sat up, laughing a little exaggeratedly. No, Joy, I treat you like a brother. But you want to sleep with me. You've got some nerve. You really dare to think about it. Let's go. I took the initiative to get closer to him. He took the opportunity to hug me, and gentlemanly opened the passenger door for me. Joy, have I really lost you? Chen, behind me, asked, choking with emotion. I didn't turn back. Actions speak louder than words. In the car, My boyfriend glanced at the rearview mirror and chuckled. He seems to be crying pretty hard. Do you want to pull over? Don't even think about it. My boyfriend floored the gas pedal, afraid I'd change my mind. How could I regret it? I broke with the past long ago. For the rest of my life, there will be no more wasted time. My boyfriend used his mouth to pass fruit to the green tea junior who was pursuing him in front of everyone. And I happened to see it. Tang Yi chased me out of the private room, saying he was drunk and it was just a game. I shook him off and said decisively, "Let's break up." He raised his eyebrows and just said, "Whatever, romance masterpieces will be published in volumes. Subscribe to Confession Romance and don't miss out. The whole text is revealed. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. Subscribe and turn on the little bell, and the wonderful story begins now." I turned around, but couldn't hold back the tears, which poured out uncontrollably. I wiped them away haphazardly and left without looking back. Tang Yi didn't chase after me. That one explanation was, in his opinion, already a concession. In the relationship, he was long used to this. No matter how many times we argued, wanting him to take the initiative to coax me was wishful thinking. Tang Yi swallowing his pride and softening. That merciful, I was drunk. I should have been understanding. But this time I was tired. I didn't want to compromise anymore. Back in the dormitory, I buried myself in the quilt, thinking over and over again about the way their lips almost touched. Tang Yi showed no displeasure at being violated, but instead slightly curved his lips, with a hint of a smile in his eyebrows. That kind of silent, ambiguous indulgence was too rare for me. His girlfriend, clearly, both Li Junjun and I were pursuing him, and I had been doing it more than 3 times as long. Yet in front of Tang Yi, she could easily get the affection I didn't have. I wiped my instantly wet face, opened WeChat. And the conversation with Tang Yi was stuck between my nagging and his silence. "Why don't you answer the phone? What are you busy with? Tired? If you go to a party, don't drink too much. Your stomach isn't good." Now that I think about it, he and the junior were in a moment of blossoming spring. How could he be distracted to care about me? In those agonizing hours, Tang Yi offered nothing more than that simple response. Not another word. My phone suddenly vibrated, snapping me back to reality. It was a new message from the alumni WeChat group. So, what was I disappointed about? The truth was right before my eyes. Even a million false excuses would be nothing but self-deception, not to mention that Tang Yi wouldn't have generously ended the Cold War without my overtures. "Senior is treating everyone to barbecue. Anyone want to join? Don't miss out." Location shared in the group. Following this message was a group selfie taken by the speaker at the barbecue stand. Tang Yi's face was too striking to ignore. Sitting next to him was Li Junjun, wearing a jacket that was draped over her shoulders. It was a birthday gift I had given to Tang Yi. He had said, "With this windbreaker, even on the coldest days, thinking of you will warm me up." At that moment, they were smiling brightly, as if they were a match made in heaven. I clenched my phone, my heart aching as if it had been burned. It turned out that my pain was so insignificant, so trivial, compared to another person's happiness. I opened my chat history with Tang Yi, watching the once intimate terms of endearment fade into indifference, the late-night chats and caring turn into habitual non-replies. The truth was, his affection for me had long expired. But I foolishly thought there was still room for redemption. Memories were like frosting on a knife's edge. The more you indulged, the more you got hurt. I finally blocked him. Letting go of someone you truly loved and cherished was bound to be excruciating. I allowed myself only this one night to cry. The next day, I woke up to a call from the delivery guy. "Someone ordered flowers for you. Please sign for them." I forced myself to get up and go downstairs to receive them. It was a large bouquet of bright and beautiful sunflowers, with a postcard hidden inside, written by the florist on behalf of the sender. "Be happy," it read. "Who's it from?" My chaotic brain inappropriately thought of my ex-boyfriend. I opened WeChat, belatedly remembering that he had been lying in the blacklist all night, and there was no new information in the friend list. I inadvertently clicked on the lively alumni group, and Tang Yi's avatar and name flashed frequently on the screen. At this moment, he was talking and laughing with others, joking around. Bewildered by the bouquet, I instantly woke up. How could it be him? From last night until now, Tang Yi had never thought of contacting me proactively, so he hadn't noticed that he had been blacklisted for so long. Maybe he didn't notice, or maybe he also felt that being strangers was better. His happiness has never changed in any way because of my departure. Tang Yi had long adapted to living alone. While I was just getting started, for a week after that day, I didn't contact him again. For me, who usually surrenders in less than a day of Cold War, it was a miracle. Not wanting to be depressed in the pain of heartbreak, I cheered up and tidied up sloppily, deciding to go out for some fresh air. Bad luck. I ran into Tang Yi while checking out at the supermarket. He was stunned when he saw me, and his eyes turned cold again, as if we were really just strangers, in the past. When I couldn't bear it and looked for him after a fight, he would also show such an indifferent expression, as if sure that I would admit defeat sooner or later. I withdrew my gaze, pretending not to see the things in his hand that only girls use. Tang Yi's phone rang, and he answered it with a gentle voice. Shin-chan. Wait a moment, I'll buy it right away. He has always been careful, afraid that she would not be satisfied, so he specially picked a few packs from each brand. I remembered when I was watching a movie with Tang Yi a few days ago, I suddenly had such bad period pains that I couldn't stand up. He helped me sit down, bought brown sugar, and brought hot water. Before I had time to be moved, I heard him complaining in a low voice while playing games on his phone. Girls are so troublesome. The thoughtfulness that was like winning the lottery with me was 100% from the beginning with Li Junjun. I silently swiped my phone to check out, thinking self-deprecatingly about how many times I had hypnotized myself in the past, actually thinking that he liked me, even if only a little bit. I walked very fast, never looking at him again from beginning to end, so naturally I didn't notice his awkward and tangled expression. Tang Yi's once intimate gesture of pulling me felt disgusting now. I forcefully shook off his hand and asked coldly, "What is it?" Tang Yi frowned, always dizzy, his indifferent and distant eyes fixed on me. As if he had noticed that I was different from before, hesitating for a long time. When my patience was exhausted, he finally said that he was not convenient to buy it now, and he was just helping. Was he explaining? But what does this have to do with me? I said expressionlessly. Seeing that I was unmoved, he showed a slightly annoyed expression again. It's been so many days, haven't you made enough trouble? So, in his eyes, the breakup I mentioned was just a disguised tantrum. So he dealt with it coldly as usual, waiting for me to figure it out myself, take the initiative to make peace, and humbly be his dispensable appendage. Why did Tang Yi think I couldn't live without him? It turned out that after truly giving up on Tang Yi, his every word would no longer cause any ripples in me. Don't you understand what a breakup means? I sneered. He was stunned for a while, his mouth opening and closing. You were the one who said you liked me. You were the one who said you would always be good to me no matter what happened. Tang Yi's eyes showed a brief confusion and panic, as if watching a docile prey escape control and no longer listen to any commands. My heart was as still as water, unwavering. In those years, he was unruly and accidentally saved me from being harassed by gangsters. Later, I learned that Tang Yi's original family was not happy after his parents divorced. They went their separate ways and no longer cared about him, so I pestered him, pouring out all my patience and consideration to warm his lonely heart. It's a pity that after so long, he still doesn't understand what love is. I looked at him and said word by word, "You also said it was in the past. Now I don't want to, and I won't want to in the future." After I finished speaking, I turned to leave, and Tang Yi hurriedly tried to grab me again. During the dispute, a boy on a bicycle swayed and rushed towards us. Although my heart no longer loved him, my body still retained a strange inertia. I pushed Tang Yi away, thus saving him from injury. I fell to the ground when the bicycle hit me, scraping my palms and legs. Tang Yi didn't expect me to react like this, and he stood there stunned for a long time before hurrying to help me. The phone in his hand suddenly rang urgently, and he quickly glanced at the name jumping on the screen, stopping his movements. No need to guess, it must be Li Junjun. Instead, the boy who rode the bike ran over first, squatted down, and frowned as he looked at my bleeding wound. "Sorry, are you okay?" I bit my lip, watching Tang Yi hesitate for a few seconds before choosing to answer the phone first. "I'm fine," as soon as the words came out. My voice was hoarse. "I'll take you to the infirmary. The person who hit me helped me up." A student ID card fell out of my pocket. The ID photo showed handsome features. His name was Lee Yoon. Only when Lee was close did I realize that the photo was too understated. His handsome face had a high nose bridge, deep eyes, long and thick eyelashes, and cold, pale skin. I was momentarily mesmerized by the beauty so close, and I vaguely felt like I had seen this person somewhere before. Lee Yoon didn't hear my answer and looked worried. "Can't you walk?" I wanted to say that it wasn't that serious and that I could just apply some medicine myself, but the next second, I was suddenly lifted into the air, carried horizontally by Lee Yoon. Tang Yi almost simultaneously interrupted his conversation with Lee Junjun, his face unfriendly as he raised his voice. "Where did you come from? Who told you to carry him?" Lee Yoon was too lazy to pay attention to him, raising an eyebrow to ask me, "Your boyfriend?" I honestly replied, "Ex-boyfriend." Lee Yoon smirked, looking at Tang Yi, who was exasperated and speechless, and said with a cool and sarcastic tone, "Nosy." The school doctor in the infirmary cleaned the sand from the knee wound, stopped the bleeding, and bandaged it. Lin Yoon waited by my side the whole time, and wanted to carry me after paying, but I quickly stopped him. "I can walk." After being in love with Tang Yi for so long, I learned one thing: never bother others with what you can do yourself. Not only will you not get comfort, but you may also be blamed for taking up his time playing games. Seeing that I was so determined, he had no choice but to give up. "Can I borrow your phone?" he asked me. I took it out, unlocked it, and handed it over. This Lee Yoon is actually quite nice, apologizing non-stop from just now until now, fulfilling every request, and compensating generously. Although it's a bit funny that he's still learning to ride a bicycle at this age, Lee Yoon pressed a few numbers, and then his own phone rang. After she noted it down, she returned the phone to me. I took it and found a new friend request on WeChat, with a simple single character for the verification name. "Well, your leg might be a bit inconvenient these days." His beautiful eyes looked over, his voice carrying an imperceptible tenderness. "Eating? Going to class? I'll accompany you." Seeing that I was about to retort, he immediately interrupted. "It's settled then." The school doctor chuckled, and then persuaded my stubbornness. "There are too many steps in the school. Your boyfriend is so considerate. Little girl, don't be so headstrong." I was very embarrassed. Lee Yoon probably didn't hear it, and his expression was much calmer. "You misunderstood. We actually just met less than half an hour ago." But before I could finish speaking, I heard a female voice shouting from outside the door, a voice I was all too familiar with. Lee Yoon had just turned his head when a figure rushed in and hugged him directly. "They said you came to the infirmary, and they said you fell badly." "Boo-hoo-hoo, what happened? Where did you fall?" Sure enough, Lee Junjun and I have a deep connection. I coldly watched their brotherly and sisterly affection. "Where did you fall?" "I fell on her. I don't want to stay in this unlucky place." I supported myself to stand up and walked out, only to be glanced at in a hurry. Then Lin Yoon, who strode forward, grabbed me, and immediately dodged as if he had touched a hot potato. Lee Yoon paused for a moment, then withdrew his hand, pretending not to care, and said, "I'll take you." Lee Junjun finally stopped caring about Ji Yingying and turned her attention to me, whose face was gloomy. She smiled sweetly and gave an unnecessary self-introduction. "Senior, do you remember me? I'm Lee Junjun, majoring in media." How could I not remember? When she first entered the university, I was the one who picked up the new students at the train station, and Lee Junjun was the first one I met. I was the one who helped him carry his luggage under the scorching sun and took him back to the dormitory. During outdoor activities, when it was pouring rain, I was the one who left the only umbrella for him. I was also the big fool who helped him pay for his meals when he ran out of money in his card at the cafeteria. I thought I had made a good friend, but she was flirting with Tang Yi behind my back, and my boyfriend was silently condoning her, intervening vaguely, and being inappropriately close. I used to think I was too sensitive, and I still tried to find excuses for them, until they were intimately close under the guise of playing games. I might as well not have this boyfriend. Senior Lin Qing doesn't seem to like you very much. After all, you bumped into her, so it's normal for him to hold a grudge now, Li Junjun said with a hidden meaning, acting coquettish and joking. Or I'll take Senior back. No need. Li Yun and I spoke at the same time. Li Yun's eyes fell on my gauze-wrapped knee. And he ordered his sister to leave. Don't make trouble. Go back to class. Li Junjun disagreed. Li Yun gave him a cool look, and he immediately responded timidly, with a rather unwilling expression. Then, he came to my side. Originally, I could walk by myself, but seeing Li Junjun's angry expression, I changed my mind. Li Yun, I called his name weakly. You said you would take me, right? Li Yun's eyes were deep, and the corners of his mouth were slightly curved. My leg hurts a lot, so it might be inconvenient to walk. I deliberately frowned, looking pitiful. Li Yun understood and picked up Yongheng again in Li Junjun's unbelievable gaze. His chest was hot, and I vaguely heard the sound of his heartbeat, deafening, and I didn't know whose it was. Seeing Li Junjun biting her lip, wanting to flare up but afraid of Lin Yun, I finally felt an unprecedented sense of pleasure in my heart to retaliate against my green tea rival. I began to get close to his most cherished older brother. Since that day, Li Yun kept his promise, picking me up and dropping me off without fail. It's just that I wasn't so thick-skinned. So I walked independently except when going up and down the stairs. Her personality was the complete opposite of Li Junjun's, cold, but seemingly warm at heart. That day, after leaving the library, I casually mentioned wanting to eat cake. The next day, I saw him downstairs at the dorm with a delicate box in his hand. He wordlessly handed it to me when he saw me. I opened it to find a cream cake, and it was even my favorite strawberry flavor. Looking at his poker face, I thought it must be a coincidence. Thank you. Was I sure I really liked him? The hidden unease in his eyes softened with those words. Tomorrow I'm going to the pottery studio with friends. A few stars twinkled in Li Yun's cool eyes. Want to come along? Is it easier to get along with someone if they've accepted a favor? I swallowed the strawberry cream in my mouth, feeling a little embarrassed. But I'm clumsy, and I might make a lot of weird things. He couldn't help but smile, gently brushing a fallen leaf from my hair, and comforting me in a low, soft voice. Just playing around, what does it matter? The next day's craft group was indeed very lively, filled with Li Yun's close friends. We were about the same age, and we quickly became acquainted after greeting each other. Li Yun slowly and methodically rolled up his shirt sleeves, sat down, and began to play with the clay in front of him, while I looked around with wide-eyed curiosity. In the past, Tang Yi rarely brought me to meet his friends. He always said that men's gatherings weren't fun with girls around. Even when he wasn't with friends, he rarely went out with me alone. For a while, I was very interested in pottery and begged him to go with me. He always made excuses. It's so dirty. What's fun about it? Is it any different from mud? It's a waste of money and boring. Better to play games in the dorm. After several attempts, I finally gave up. I didn't expect to fulfill this small wish after the breakup. My heart ached. I came back to my senses and met Li Yun's gaze. He motioned for me to sit next to him. Want to try? I nodded, a little excited. Just as I put my hand on the clay, the phone suddenly rang, because it was difficult to operate. I hurriedly wiped my fingertips clean, turned on the speakerphone. Ching ching. Tang Yi is drunk and can't even walk. Can you come pick him up? It was Chen Song, a mutual friend of Tang Yi and me, who was calling. I subconsciously looked at Lin Yun. His movements paused, then he lowered his head, as if he hadn't heard. Ching ching, what's going on with you two? Tang Yi has been looking for you. He's in pretty bad shape. Can you come over? Chen Song sounded frantic. I frowned, and finally hastily cleaned the stains on my hands, stood up, and walked towards the door. Tang Yi rarely drank on weekdays, and because he was proud and cared about face, only I knew what he looked like when he was drunk. When he was very young, his mother remarried, and his father remarried, and both had new children, so they had even less energy to take care of him. Even his once-a-year birthday, they would forget to call Tang Yi. Every birthday celebration was only with me. It was also then that I first saw him drunk, almost out of control, constantly asking me if he was the worst person in the world. So he was coldly abandoned by his biological parents. Others have warm homes, but he had almost never felt it. I hugged him, and also cried sadly, "You still have me, I will always be with you." Because of his past, I always gave in again and again in the relationship, unwilling to give him even a little bit of pain, and even naively thought that his wandering heart could only find solace and rest with me. But such unreserved devotion was exchanged for chilling betrayal and hurt. Recalling the past, the fingers holding the phone couldn't help but tighten. My heart felt like it was being silently needed, a feeling that made it hard to breathe. I stood outside the door, looking at Lin Yun's profile through the floor-to-ceiling window. He stared absent-mindedly at the clay in front of him, with an inexplicable sense of repression and loneliness in his expression. I had a feeling that he must be very afraid of me leaving. "Tangyi probably didn't tell you, we've already broken up." After I finished speaking, Chen Song was indeed very surprised. "That pretty junior who has been appearing by his side these days, you should have all seen her, right?" Thinking of this, I felt a sense of powerless anger. Clearly, they were mutual friends of Tangyi and me, but after seeing her being ambiguous with him, not a single person told me. I was kept in the dark for so long, like a clown, only remembered when he was drunk and needed cleaning up. "I'll give you his phone number, you contact him to pick up Tangyi, they have a pretty good relationship." That matter was a misunderstanding. Chen Song felt guilty and ashamed again. Actually, that female student didn't really care about Tangyi. Tangyi didn't have any other intentions, he just thought she was weak and innocent and needed more care. Because I'm considerate and take care of people, so I deserve to be cheated on and clean up the mess. I interrupted him, saying they were a good match. Tangyi was drunk, it was a good opportunity to promote their relationship, and it would be ungrateful of me to disturb them. Chen Song still wanted to say something, but I was no longer interested in listening. Although I rejected him, I didn't feel any sense of revenge in my heart. Tangyi used to have severe self-harming behavior when he was drunk. I was disgusted by him, because I might do something impulsive. Since we've already broken up, whether it's good or bad, I don't want to have anything to do with him anymore. For the nth time spacing out, Li Yun finally stopped moving. He looked at me and asked softly, "Something on your mind?" I snapped back to reality and shook my head. To be fair, Li Yun is good to me, or rather, unexpectedly considerate. Even though we've only known each other for a short time, I often feel like he understands me very well. He knows what I like to eat, what I hate, and even who my favorite singer is recently. He even managed to get a concert ticket from somewhere and gave it to me. Although Li Yun only casually said it was given by a friend, I knew he was lying. Concert tickets are a perk for fans, sold in limited quantities, and promoted very discreetly. Only loyal fans would notice. I tried to grab one for several days at the exact time they went on sale, but I didn't succeed. It's even less likely that someone would buy one and then return it. I pressed him about where he got the ticket, and he pretended to be impatient, saying he had forgotten. Helpless, I was forced to accept his kindness. From some point on, my phone was almost flooded with his messages. Li Yun is taciturn, and the chat content is also unusually concise. "Went downstairs and bought you some food. Your knee needs a new bandage. Don't eat cold things during your period. The thermos is full, put it at the entrance of the stairs. The fruit is in the dormitory office. Go get it after class. Don't stay up late, go to sleep. I borrowed the book you wanted to read, waiting for you downstairs in the dormitory." At first, he let me order him around in the name of compensation, and I only agreed to spite Li Junjun. But the better Lin Yun is to me, the heavier my guilt becomes. My leg injury has long healed, and I think I should make things clear. Lin Qing's thoughts were pulled back by his cold voice. Only then did I realize that Lin Yun was standing opposite me at some point. Seeing me looking over, he frowned slightly, his warm hand gently lifting my chin, forcing me to look up and meet his eyes. "Why are you unhappy?" I avoided his gaze. "No." He stared at me intently, then gave in, sighing softly. "Borrowed a friend's car, let's go." Lin Yun raised the corners of her mouth slightly, but the smile didn't reach her eyes. "Since you're so worried, then I'll go with you." I couldn't resist Li Yun in the end, and went with him, only to deeply regret it when I got to the hotel entrance. Tangyi was so drunk that his legs were weak, and Chen Song was supporting him. The moment he saw me and Lin Yun, he became emotional, his eyes red. "No wonder you've been ignoring me for so many days, Lin Qing, you're really something. How long has it been since we broke up? And you're already so infatuated with him that you're together every day." His drunken accusations were angry and unreasonable, and he seemed very energetic. "Let's go." I was speechless, too lazy to argue with a drunk, and just wanted to pull Li Yun away from this suffocating place as soon as possible. Chen Song, who was beside him, anxiously explained loudly, "Xiaoyi, stop being stubborn. What's the point of being strong? Just say you want to get back together with Qingqing, wouldn't that be better? You were calling Qingqing's name all the time when you were drunk just now, and now you're arguing like enemies. What are you trying to achieve?" My movements paused. Did I hear correctly? Tangyi wants to get back together. You wouldn't have lasted this long if you hadn't had feelings for each other for 2 years. Right, it's normal for young couples to quarrel and break up and get back together. Xiaoyi quickly apologized to Qingqing sincerely. "Let's talk about any misunderstandings as soon as possible. How can a relationship not have any conflicts?" I understood what Chen Song meant. He wanted to be a peacemaker, urging us to renew our relationship. Unfortunately, I no longer want to have any entanglement with Tangyi. Chen Song's words were full of barbs aimed at Lin Yun. Lin Yun's face was gloomy. And for my sake, she just endured it and pursed her lips coldly in silence. Tangyi looked at him with hatred in his eyes, and drunkenly said recklessly, "Lin Qing, I know you too well. Aren't you just trying to make Li Zhenjin angry by deliberately getting close to his brother? You don't really like him at all. You've only known him for a few days. Have you ever thought that he's deliberately deceiving you?" The dark little thoughts were ruthlessly exposed, in the end. Although they are siblings, they are two different individuals. These days of getting along have made me more certain that Li Yun is not what Tangyi said. The grievances with Li Zhenjin should not be vented on someone who is sincere to me. I felt guilty and looked at Lin Yun in embarrassment. His eyes were filled with disbelief and hurt, but there was no resentment or hatred at all. Li Yun met my apologetic eyes. His Adam's apple moved slightly, and his tone was gentle. What he said, whether true or false, I don't care. His tolerance only made me feel more uncomfortable. Since Tangyi is unrighteous, I don't want to be polite anymore. Reconciliation is impossible, not in this lifetime. Complex and heavy emotions strangled my heart like a rope. My brain heated up, and I impulsively announced, "Who said I don't really like him?" Tangyi wouldn't think that I can be summoned and dismissed at his will, shamelessly vowing allegiance. Right, what makes him think that? Everyone was stunned. Tangyi frowned and smiled, trying to see through me. Chen Song thought I was deliberately saying angry words. "Qingqing, Xiaoyi is also drunk, don't mind her." I turned a deaf ear, and in countless shocked eyes, I hugged Li Yun's neck, my lips about to touch his. In that second, reason returned. He would hate me, push me away, and blame me for using him as a tool for showing off and being competitive. Right, the originally aggressive movement retreated, but unexpectedly. Li Yun suddenly hugged my waist and kissed me fiercely. I was dumbfounded. The fresh scent of the boy rushed towards me, and his embrace was very warm, making my bones soften. It wasn't until Tangyi angrily wanted to come up and hit someone, and Li Zhenjin's piercing scream that followed, that I finally came back to my senses. My cheeks were burning hot as I pushed Lin Yun away. In a daze, I heard Li Zhenjin's voice. "Awesome, Li Zhenjin, Senior Lin Qing, you are really awesome." The expression made me suspect that he would passionately applaud in the next second. Why does it feel weird? Logically, I had taken liberties with his beloved brother. He should have come up to grab my hair and fight with me. How could he praise me with such a realistic and approving expression? I was confused and was hugged into Li Yun's arms again. I vaguely heard him gnashing his teeth at his sister. "It's good that you came. I have a lot of things to ask you." After Tangyi was stunned, he was about to burst into a scolding. Li Yun warned. The hostility and irritability in his eyes were clearly visible, and his voice was cold and hard. "If you harass my girlfriend again, I will never be polite." That was a look I had never seen before. The scene was full of gunpowder, and seeing that a fight was about to break out, I used both soft and hard tactics, pushing him away from here. In the car, I sat in the passenger seat, with Lee Junjun in the back. Lee Yoon tapped the steering wheel with his slender fingers, his face dark, his brow furrowed. He looked at me and asked in a hoarse voice, "What's going on between you two? Chin Ching, you go first." Lee Junjun seemed afraid of him, scratching her head, cautiously probing. "Brother, why don't you listen to my explanation first?" "Shut up." Lee Junjun was indeed silenced. I cleared my throat, feeling more confident under Lee Yoon's gaze. "Before we broke up, your sister had already taken a fancy to my ex-boyfriend. I figured he likes recycling second-hand trash, so I simply granted their wish." Lee Junjun immediately burst into tears, anxiously defending herself. "Sister, I wouldn't even look at Tang Yi, that bastard. If it weren't for seeing you and my brother so deeply in love, I wouldn't have said any of this." Lee Junjun leaned over and sent me the pictures on her phone to prove she wasn't lying. "Tang Yi especially liked flirting with others behind your back. It made me so angry. I wanted to tell you so many times, but I was afraid you'd be sentimental and soft-hearted, and what if he put on a pitiful act and you forgave him no matter what, besides actively fishing to expose him in front of you? I really couldn't think of any other harsher way." Every picture on the screen showed Tang Yi chatting and laughing with different girls, with his arms around their shoulders and waists. Some were his childhood friends I knew, and many I didn't. I used to trust him so much, firmly believing that although he was slow to warm up, he would never do anything out of line. Who knew Tang Yi had been lying to me for so long? Those girls, looking at the unknowing me, happily followed him, believing all his lies, probably laughing at me for being a fool. I clenched my fist even harder, trembling all over, my nails digging into my flesh, until a warm hand covered it. It was Lee Yoon. He covered the screen with his other hand, coldly disgusted. "Put it away. What's so good about looking at dogs?" Lee Junjun took back her phone, still indignant on my behalf. How could someone as gentle and kind as my sister be ruined by such a low-down scumbag? The junior was filled with grief and indignation. "For the happiness of my sister and brother, I am willing to sacrifice myself to expose the dog." Lee Junjun leaned in to hug me, but I dodged. He looked like he was about to cry, begging me to forgive him, saying he would do anything to appease me, his rival in love, suddenly becoming friends. My emotions were also in a mess. "But didn't you hate me getting close to your brother?" Lee Junjun immediately revealed a smug expression, as if she knew everything. "My brother protects you like you're his heart and soul. The more hostile I am towards you, the more he'll stick to you like glue, and then you two will have some fun." Lin Yoon slapped Lee Junjun on the head. Lightly, but extremely insulting, he warned expressionlessly, "If you've done something dishonorable, talk less. Brother, stop pretending, you old fox." He had clearly been interested in Ching for a long time. She slapped him again, a truly unique and overwhelming charm. "Lee Yoon, tell her to shut up if she doesn't understand." Lee Junjun was sent by Lin Yoon to buy me milk tea. My attempts to stop her were futile. Lee Junjun happily hopped out of the car, and before leaving, she leaned in with a gossipy look. "Sis, no. I mean sister-in-law now. That kiss you initiated just now will probably cure my brother's insomnia for days. I'm off. You guys have a good kiss, I mean, a good chat." My face flushed red, but Lee Yoon seemed not to hear, only a faint pink tinge on his ears. He was on his phone, seemingly doing something. After a while, he looked up at me, his eyes clear and gentle. "I've booked the tickets. Let's go to the beach together tomorrow. The vast sea, the free sea breeze. Always make people forget unhappy pasts." He was comforting me in his own way. I could guess the motive behind everything he did. "Since when did this start, Lee Yoon?" I mustered my courage to look at him. "You knew me a long time ago, didn't you?" The bits and pieces of our past interactions had already made me suspicious. I was completely awakened by Lee Junjun's words just now. If he hadn't known me for a long time, how could she know all my little hobbies and habits so well? This was the question I was most curious about, but Lin Yoon seemed unwilling to answer me. In a moment of anxiety, afraid that he would run away, I wanted to get out of the car and hold him down in the driver's seat for questioning. But as soon as I opened the car door, he pulled me back forcefully. A pleading look appeared in Lee Yoon's eyes, his voice hoarse and strained. "Don't go." I said he misunderstood that I was throwing a tantrum, so he relented. Which was a lucky accident. I gently straightened up, but he was very insistent, so I couldn't break free. I had no choice but to listen in the handshake position. The look in Lee Yoon's eyes gradually softened from helplessness. You saved me. When did that happen? I looked surprised. He smiled, a subtle hint of disappointment in his eyes. I knew you wouldn't remember. When Lee Yoon was 17 years old, his father passed away from illness, and the pillar of the family was gone. His mother and sister couldn't accept it and cried all day long. The boy grew up overnight, suppressing his grief, and became the only spiritual support in the hearts of his family. His mother's health deteriorated from crying too much. He took care of her in the hospital for 3 days and 3 nights without closing his eyes. After arranging his father's funeral, he rented a house near the hospital, letting his sister live as close to him as possible, and stayed by his mother's side day and night. Fearing that she would do something foolish, he rushed back and forth between home and the hospital every day. He had no time to grieve, nor to take care of his own body. Always maintaining a strong and reliable appearance in front of them. But the more pain is suppressed, the more it rebounds, Lin Yoon said. That's when I appeared. I remember it was summer, and my cousin was hospitalized, so I went to take care of her. I saw a young man on the hospital terrace. He was wearing a mask, looking tired and sad, with only a pair of stunning, wet, and eye-catching eyes exposed. Lee Yoon-tae missed his father, but didn't dare to show it in front of them. So he hid here alone, silently shedding tears. I originally wanted to leave, but I saw him suddenly grab the railing in front of him and lean forward, almost falling over. Outside the railing was a high altitude. I was so scared that my heart almost stopped. The thought of saving him surpassed everything. I ran over and hugged him. Don't be impulsive. Please don't be impulsive. As long as you're alive, there's hope, right? I was panicked. My mind was blank. If a person has no desire to live, what can make him stay? My memory of my reaction at the time is a bit vague, but Lee Yoon remembers it clearly. You're reciting the names of dishes. Yes, food can fill people with hope for life. You mistakenly thought I was thinking of ending it all. Lee Yoon lowered his voice, his eyes like spring water. Actually, I'm just too tired, and I was just dizzy for a moment. He looked at me, a smile on his lips. You hugged me, begging me to live well, crying even harder than me, I thought. How could this girl be so silly? She gently touched my head, her eyes full of doting. Silly but cute. That was a strange comfort after a cold change. Pure kindness, a rose delivered before the straw that breaks the camel's back. He said, I saved him. Perhaps in his heart, it was more than just a misunderstanding. A young man on the verge of collapse. He needed a reckless hug. The next day, Lee Yoon found out which ward I was in, but unfortunately, I had already been discharged with my cousin. She was frustrated that she hadn't asked for my name or phone number, and had been searching aimlessly for so many years. Unexpectedly, by a twist of fate, we happened to register as freshmen at the same university. That day, he recognized me in the crowd at a glance. Just as he was about to excitedly introduce himself, he saw me clinging to Tang Yi, inseparable, my eyes full of the joy of being in love, which made him hesitate. For 2 years in college, Lee Yoon silently stayed by my side. But I never knew of his existence. He didn't even say hello to me. If you are happy, I can't ruin it. If you are not happy, I will definitely be the first to run to you. It turned out that we had met so early. Lee Yoon was wearing a mask at that time, so it's no wonder I didn't recognize him. Although we were in the same school, our only connection was Lee Junjun. Lee Yoon, upon learning that we knew each other, even earnestly asked his sister to take good care of me. Lee Junjun was quirky and quickly understood her brother's intentions. At the same time, she discovered how awful Tang Yi was, so she simply used the fastest way to expose his disguise and bring me and Lin Yoon together. I suddenly remembered the unsigned gifts I received during every holiday. So the anonymous gift I received was the bouquet of sunflowers you sent. This is a mystery I haven't been able to solve. In addition to flowers, I would receive some express deliveries on major and minor holidays, each containing a handwritten card, noting quick, elegant handwriting. The gifts were sometimes watches, water cups, necklaces, scarves for emergencies when it was cold, and surprisingly co-branded headphones, because I didn't know who sent them. Nor did I know the other party's intentions, and the courier said they couldn't be returned. I had to accept them, but I never used them. It turned out that all of this was his silent concern. Sending gifts may have bothered you. Lee Yoon's eyes were gentle, his Adam's apple bobbed, and he finally restrained himself and tidied my bangs, his voice becoming more hoarse. Sorry, I just missed you too much, every time I miss you. I send some carefully selected gifts to accompany my beloved. Until I broke up, he was really the first to appear. Perhaps many times before, he had cared about my every joy, anger, sorrow, and happiness from afar. By Tang Yi's side, I was always insignificant. His anxiety and insecurity made me miserable, and I even forgot the feeling of truly loving and being loved. Lee Yoon handed over a gift box, asking me to open it. It was the game console I had been longing for. Every time I made up my mind to buy it, I was afraid that Tang Yi would say I was childish. It had become a habit to suppress myself for fear of disappointing him. My voice was muffled, and tears were on the verge of falling. How do you know everything? I didn't even recognize you, and I haven't been good to you. Maybe when you love someone, you know all their preferences, every unimportant word they say, every boring WeChat status they post, treating it like the key points of an exam. Repeatedly and carefully speculating, if I hadn't broken up with Tang Yi, if I hadn't wanted revenge, if it wasn't for his constant and meticulous care during our time together, knowing what I was up to but never getting angry about it, how long would it have taken me to realize this love? The more I thought about it, the sadder I became, and tears kept falling. Lee Yoon was stunned, frantically helping me wipe away the tears with a tissue, his brow furrowed with helplessness and pity. What's wrong? Don't cry. I knew I shouldn't have told you. Ching, don't cry, okay. Seeing that I wasn't listening, Lee Yoon panicked and didn't know what to do. He pretended to be fierce and threatened. If you keep crying, I'll kiss you. I really will. Are you afraid? I took the initiative to hug him. I had made him wait too long. Let me take the initiative with this kiss. That's the end of today's story. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. If you have any suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. See you in the next video.